You know how sometimes you'll be confused about something, about a situation, and then you obtain some more information about it a while later, and everything starts to make perfect sense? I had one of those types of moments yesterday when Outkick revealed Stephen A. Smith's contract details with ESPN. I made a video, might have been about a month ago, and the premise of the video was that ESPN is paying Stephen A. Smith to be woke. I did a lot of research for that video. I gave you guys examples of how Stephen A. used to actually lean conservative. He was even pushing black people to vote Republican in the 2016 election. For years, there were a lot of black people that accused Stephen A. of being an Uncle Tom. He always sides with white people. He's harsh on black athletes, but he gives white athletes a pass. Suddenly, last summer, there was a complete shift in Stephen A's mentality. He went from leaning conservative to full-blown woke. People can change. I realize that. People change all the time, but here's the thing. Once you reach a certain age, you are who you are. Your values rarely change as you get older. Your morals rarely change. Now, they'll change a lot from your teenage years, your early 20s to the time you're 30. But once you're in your 30s, your morals and values are pretty much set in stone. Which is why I've always questioned how Stephen A. Smith could have such a drastic change in his values, seemingly overnight. When you look at the details of his contract with ESPN, it starts to make a little bit more sense. I have been under the impression that ESPN was paying Stephen A. Smith $8 million a year. That's incorrect. Stephen A. is making $12 million a year. Now, I'm a capitalist. I never begrudge anyone making money. If ESPN feels that Stephen A. Smith is worth $12 million a year, then good for him. What I do question, though, and what I kind of have an issue with, is the reason I believe they're paying him this kind of money. Here's what I think went down, and this is pure speculation on my part. I have no proof of any of this. This is just my observation. As you know, ESPN has been struggling for the past 3 or 4 years. They have had several massive layoffs. They asked some of their higher-priced on-air talent to take pay cuts. Look at the people that ESPN has parted ways with lately. Trey Wingo, Mike Golick, Kenny Mayne, Tom Rinaldi. What do all of these guys have in common, besides the fact that they're all white males? None of them are woke. Stephen A. Smith has been the face of ESPN for the better part of 10 years. His salary has increased over time, but it's never been to the level that it is today. I believe he was in the $1 or $2 million range at one point, then it bumped to around 5, now it's 12. He signed this contract late in 2019. This was right around the time that ESPN was preparing to go full woke. They had been flirting with wokeness for a couple of years at that point, but late 2019, ESPN was getting ready to make the mega woke push. Of course, they eventually did just that last summer. I think ESPN approached Stephen A. and offered him this sizable increase in salary to promote the agenda. What other explanation makes sense? Think about this for a second. Stephen A. Smith makes more money than every head coach not named Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick beats him by about $500,000 a year. But just think about that. Stephen A. Smith is paid more money to give his uninformed opinion on sports than the people who are actually involved in the NFL and NBA. Does that make sense to you? Outside the NBA, Stephen A. Smith knows very little about other sports. We talked this morning about his lack of knowledge in the UFC, yet ESPN sends him to Vegas to cover every major UFC fight. He does not know anything about the NFL. If I'm being paid $12 million a year to know about sports, you can damn well be sure that I'm going to know what the hell I'm talking about. Stephen A., he can't even be bothered to read an injury report. Remember back in 2018, Chiefs-Chargers, they were the Monday Night Football game? Stephen A. was giving his analysis, talking about Derek Johnson and Hunter Henry. Now, mind you, this game was taking place in December. Hunter Henry hadn't played all season, and Derek Johnson was injured, wasn't playing in the game. What about the time before the draft when he was giving his analysis on Dwayne Haskins? Stephen A said that Dwayne Haskins was more of a running quarterback than a throwing quarterback. Obviously, he didn't watch one game of Dwayne Haskins at Ohio State. But forgive Stephen A. He must have assumed because Dwayne Haskins is black that he must be a running quarterback because all black quarterbacks are running quarterbacks. 2019, he was talking about his favorite punching bag, the Dallas Cowboys. You would figure, as much as Stephen A. Smith hates on the Dallas Cowboys, that he would know just a little bit about the franchise. He was talking about how innovative offensive coordinator Kellen Moore has been and said that he was definitely an upgrade over Chan Gailey. Chan Gailey, who at that point had last coached in 2016 for the Jets. Before that, he was in Buffalo. Before that, Kansas City. You would have to go all the way back to 1999, 20 years before Stephen A. made this comparison, for Chan Gailey to have been in Dallas. And he was the head coach, not the offensive coordinator. Kellen Moore was 11 years old in 1999. These are not accidental mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes. These are not accidental. These mistakes are lack of knowledge, lack of preparation. My point is, and I bring all this up to show you, ESPN is not paying Stephen A. Smith for his knowledge on sports. All of this happened before he was given that massive increase in salary. Clearly, they are not paying him for his knowledge. So what are they paying him for? They're paying him to be woke. They are paying him to be the face of diversity. Now, I will give Stephen A. credit. He can be entertaining, and he is knowledgeable when it comes to the NBA. He has a lot of contacts in the NBA. I'm not even saying that he doesn't deserve the $12 million that he's being paid. All I'm saying is it's questionable when you have ESPN cutting salaries and letting people go that aren't woke and paying massive sums of money to the talent that is woke, the talent that will push their agenda. Maria Taylor falls into that same category. On what planet is Maria Taylor worth Stephen A. money? I couldn't believe she was making $1 million a year. That seemed extravagant to me. Now ESPN's offering her $3 million, which isn't enough for Maria Taylor. Like Stephen A., Maria Taylor is known for her lack of knowledge when it comes to sports. Now, maybe she knows college football. I don't know. I don't watch her on ESPN, so I can't speak to that. I know she doesn't know the NBA, which is what the whole Rachel Nichols controversy is about. I think it's funny, though. Stephen A. likes to pull the white privilege card all the time. Steve Nash, hired by the Nets, white privilege. Tim Tebow, given a shot by the Jaguars, white privilege. A car stops to allow a white cat to cross the road, white privilege. All the while, Stephen A. is making more money than all of these so-called privileged white people. Does Stephen A. Smith have white privilege? He sure is cashing those checks from the evil white man. It's all a lie. It's all a lie. Stephen A. Smith is a phony. The truth is, he sold his morals and values for $1. He is a talking head who is told what to say. ESPN is nothing more than the sports wing of the far left. You look at their roster of on-air talent, for the most part, all woke. Now, I thought ESPN was the diversity network. I guess that doesn't apply when it comes to politics because there is no diversity at ESPN when it comes to politics. If you're a guy like Kurt Schilling, they get you the hell out of there as soon as possible. So what do you guys think? I thought it was interesting that Stephen A. Smith's being paid $12 million a year, makes more money than every head coach in the NFL, NBA, Major League Baseball, NHL, besides Bill Belichick. I thought that was rather interesting. But what do you guys think about it? Do you think that Stephen A. is being paid this money to push the woke agenda? Or do you think he's worth $12 million a year? Sound off in the comments below. Make sure to like and subscribe. Click the notification bell to receive all notifications from the channel. Best way to contact me is by email at btlkc84@gmail.com, KC_BTL84 on Twitter. I'll see you guys tomorrow.